Welcome to episode 35 of Hollywood Unapologetic. My name is Orlando Delbert. Today I want to talk about filmmaking essentials, how to assign value to your work by keeping control of it. Assigning value to my work? We worked on it, damn it. It has value to me. Yeah. And everyone who worked on it, of course it has value. We've all sweat, cried, bled, lost sleep. Yeah, that is true. But there has been a shift in recent years where independent films and television series as well, where the perceived worth of projects being produced has diminished. During a conversation I was in recently, the question of assigning value came up by a filmmaker who has directed and produced mostly features and some episodics, and for most of his career had a hard time getting any kind of financial return. And there were several reasons for this. Some financial models for television, for example, have followed the financial model on inexpensive cookie-cutter reality shows, a problem we've seen over and over again where offers were so low to produce a series. No more than 3 people can be on any of the actual shoots for very little pay, if any. And what I mean is that the little bit production did get went into 2 of the 3 people on the shoot and into post. The deal a friend was offered on a show he developed and pitched to a network was in the neighborhood of $25,000 production budget for a full season of 10 episodes. And he had to give up all rights to his branding and intellectual properties associated with it. They gave him such a ridiculous set of parameters to meet if he wanted to get any of the back-end money, which were impossible and highly unrealistic, and this is not at all uncommon. Another example, 4 shows I was tied to had a verbal agreement of a 60-40 split in commercial revenue as part of a package deal for the 4 shows, only to be changed by the network while the executive producer was en route to sign off on it to a 90-10 deal in favor of the network, of course. Digital distribution has taken a page from the iTunes business model, much of the music industry has been using for years, which has offered some independently produced films and television productions a way to distribute their projects, but also for very little return. Gone are the days where you could mass-produce DVDs of your film for home viewing and make $1 million, as it used to be during the 90s. These trends have caused many films and TV series endeavors to be devalued. It's a difficult truth that you may not want to hear, but the powers that be and bean counters at the studios, networks, and distributors continue to lower the value of what we're working so hard for. They just continue to lose value, and in their eyes, many projects just have zero value. An example of this is the 3 main questions film distributors ask about your project. What is the name of the film? Who is in it? And what do you need to get it finished? The name of the film is important because they want a short, easy to remember, catchy name people will hold on to. If they don't like the name, it may not go much further. Next. Who is in it is important because the more recognizable names are attached to your project, the more likely more people will see it, which means more money can be raised on the front end and more money can be made on the back end. If they don't recognize the name, in most cases, forward momentum stops right there. But you need to get it finished is important because depending on whether you are looking for distribution to different markets, what will that be? The theatrical or television, looking for gap financing, or an advance just to get the damn thing done? And what that amount would be is in question. If you've gotten this far, this is good, but not everyone does. These are the 3 main questions that need to be answered during your first meeting. And by the way, don't expect to close a deal on your first meeting. The purpose of the first meeting is to get your second meeting. The first meeting, you and your project are being assessed to see if they deem you and your project of value to them. Remember, all they ever care about is their return. Hollywood will always be about making money the most expedient way possible. They can compare budgets, financial gains and losses, marketing strategies used, the cast and crew, and the director with your project. This is business, and they want to know they can maximize their returns. Your answers will give distributors ideas on where they can distribute your product and how much of a return they can expect, as well as the types of marketing they may need associated with the costs involved. Most film and television financing comes from how your project is distributed. In many cases, they don't care about the message. Will it help the planet, an endangered species, your community, or much else? What the distributors are looking for is maximizing their return. That's it, nothing else. Then during the negotiations, the distributor may want to cross-collateralize the foreign distribution rights. What that means is the monies earned from the various markets the rights have been sold to be combined together. For example, your film does well in one country and earns $1 million and loses $1 million in another country. When cross-collateralized, the percentage of your net revenue will be 0. This is because they are combined together, but if they were not cross-collateralized, you would get your percentage of the profits of the first territory, while the distributor absorbs the loss from the second. A lot of this has to do with a handful of people on the distributor side taking your project's earnings and cutting it up into pieces. There's profit sharing. You have to rely on them being honest with the accounting, and maybe you'll see something. What does a filmmaker do? One thing many filmmakers and content creators fail to either see or accept is that their ideas and projects are just viewed as a project. It just is. You have to understand that not all independent produced films and television series make money. This is something you have to know going into it. Unless you win awards at the big film festivals, chances of turning a profit are pretty low. You have to figure out a way to assign value to what you're doing. And this is assigning values to everyone involved. For some, it means offering exposure to on-camera talent and, of course, getting the right exposure for your project. For others, it's offering experience to people wanting to break in and looking for a crew to be a part of. For you, it may be finding enough money to get the ball rolling and making sure you have enough to make it through post-production. The studios have the vertical integration, the financing, and the corporate relationships to create a brand and tie in toys, sodas, whatever, the legal protection, everything in their favor. They have the business formulas they follow over and over again with only profits in mind. It's only business. So how do I assign value to my project? You have to figure out a way to monopolize it. You have to figure out a way to keep control of your project, which determines the value of your project. Crowdsourcing or crowdfunding is one way to do that. For one thing, those wanting to be part of your project know there may be a financial loss. It's money that you don't have to recoup. They believe in you, what your project stands for, and about the message and the art. In exchange for their contributions, they get something in return. It's the way you set up your tier system in your campaign so they get something back. DVDs, shirts, credits in the end scroll, thank you online, all of that you determine before making your campaign live. More and more projects are being funded through crowdsourcing. Take the time and think about whom your audience is. If your audience uses social media as part of their day-to-day activities, you may want to consider crowdsourcing to get your project funded. If you plan on crowdsourcing to fund your project, strategize a multi-tier approach to bringing awareness to your project using social media outlets as tools. This includes Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Consider making promotional videos and a teaser trailer and use the power of Facebook and Twitter to drive people to your campaign. Many successful crowdsourcing campaigns begin months, if not years earlier, when a fan base has been built up, especially through YouTube. Social media is a good way to communicate between the consumer and the content creators, all thanks to the growing ability of the internet. I hope this helps you think about assigning value to your work and keep control of your project. Go, go, go! The world is greatly influenced by what is seen on the screen and heard on the radio. Let's be the new Hollywood generation. Let's give the world something that will drive everyone to do something bigger and to make a positive difference in this world. Something I'd like to leave you with. We are all in it together. Each and every one of you is an important part of our future. You're important to the lives of those who surround you. Important to your communities, important to our industry. No matter what, remain optimistic and focused on your goal. Never stop believing in yourself, and always remember, you are the key to your own success. Take a breath, move forward. Together, let's create a revival, the resurgence of Hollywood, and bring back the auteur to cinema. Be an active part of the new Hollywood generation. You are a representative of the new Hollywood generation. Please subscribe to our channel and share. Don't forget to check out our other videos in the series. Follow the link below to check out our swag. Thanks. You are a representative of the new Hollywood generation. Join Hollywood Unapologetic in our quest to positively empower one another, to empower our industry as we speak openly to industry professionals about the true pursuit of our Hollywood dreams and in life. Hollywood Unapologetic is a continuation of the Pollyanna's tear-soaked Battlefields of Hollywood, a survival guide against the cynicism and the hypocritical series of books designed to help you better prepare for success. It is now our time to strive to be a better version of ourselves and to be inclusive of one another. We, as a community, can grow together and be the change our industry needs. We can find unity together and be the change our future needs. We are the new Hollywood generation. Welcome to Hollywood Unapologetic.